I think is a part of everybody's life. I have this statement that I tell everybody that who's not a gamer in this world. Everybody is a gamer in this world, right? They're playing some or the other kind of a game, either on their phone or on a console or a
Hmm.
PC or whichever, or you're playing a game. A good gamer, so
Wow.
a 17, 18-year-old good gamer can earn anything between 10 to 15 lakhs a month, going up to almost 50 lakh rupees a month. That's the potential,
Okay.
and we have seen so many people growing in front of us in our industry, so it's a huge industry.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Modernizing Biz Podcast. On this episode, we have a very interesting guest with us. So, I've been personally fascinated by a lot of games when I was a teenage, but eventually that the family didn't support. But the case with Piyush is not the same. We have Piyush Kumar with us from Router. Hi Piyush, how are you doing?
Hi Manish, I'm doing good. Really good to be here and good to see that you were always interested in gaming, so it would be a great discussion.
I was always interested, but the support was not there, and that's why the it was suppressed and just jumped into the corporates again. So I want to know from the beginning. I want to know like how and why you jumped into gaming. Like, do
Yeah.
you also have this childhood inside you still? That's where you started out.
So gaming, I think, is a part of everybody's life. I have this statement that I tell everybody that who's not a gamer in this world. Everybody is a gamer in this world, right? They're playing some or the other kind of a game, either on their phone or on a console or a
Hmm.
PC or whichever, or you're playing a game, offline game, somebody's playing Ludo in India. So gaming is a part of everybody's life. For me, as I grew up, I was largely a sports person. I used to play a lot of sports, watch a lot of sports, but I also used to love a lot of gaming, and right from those early days of Mario and Tetris, and then got to PlayStations, and then I actually love PlayStation handheld devices. So I used to have something called PSP for a long time. Then I bought a PS3. Then I bought something called PS Vita. So PS Vita was an improved version of PSP. I still have it. It's an 8-year-old device. It still works well. So in the last 10 years, I played a lot of FIFA, a lot of tennis games. I'm learning a bit of battle royale games. So yeah, gaming has been a part of my life throughout.
So I know the fact that you're also a dad. I think your kids might be the might seems like I got a best dad in the world. Reason being, you never shout them, you never scold them for gaming. I
No,
think.
no. So when you have a dad's duty, it is you can't have the same format. So my son is 6.5 years old. He loves gaming, and we just bought a PS5 for him and me, and he plays on PS5 multiple times. He's playing Grand Theft Auto mostly, also learning a bit of
Oh,
for Fortnite,
yeah.
and he loves all the racing games. So GTA and all these games he loves quite a lot. Yeah, but yeah, I keep a balance of it because I also understand that he's in a very interesting age. But you're right that gaming in our household is very much acceptable, and we both love doing it together.
So now, if I talk about this, there is very unconventional career path. If we talk about, we have seen a lot of big YouTubers come out of gaming industry, and which reflects that a lot of people have a major inclination towards the gaming as well. But so I want to know like what is the future of gaming currently in India? Because people still are not aware about it. They are doing it because I want to enjoy it, I love it, and I want to go it and do it. But still people don't have this rock solid vision about this particular industry. So what it look like from the inside?
So gaming is I let me tell you this that India for a very long time until you can say 2018, India was a very silent market for gaming. It wasn't an exciting
Hmm.
market while the gaming was growing very fast in the West. Lots of new gaming studios, lots of new games were coming in, and also in our neighboring country like China or rest of Southeast Asia, gaming was like really blowing up to be a big industry. India was not happening at all until in 2018 when PUBG got introduced to the Indian market. It was the first battle royale mobile game which people started to play, and it was such a nice game, and the way it was constructed, and it's a once in a lifetime kind of a game. People just fell in love with it, And
Yeah.
suddenly from 2018-19, you will remember, in fact, Mr. Modi uh, also mentioned it in one of his sessions when he was talking to parents during board examinations in 2019, that it became so popular that even our honorable prime minister had to talk about it. So from 2018 2019, the entire gaming market changed. We got some very very strong mobile games which came in. People started to getting addicted to it, and then in 2020 when pandemic happened, the entire generation sort of moved to gaming because people had so much of time. They started gaming a lot. So it's now, so this is, so today, I mean, just look at this, like from a 200 million gamers some 3 years back, 4 years back, India now has 450 million gamers, which is stated to
Wow.
cross 650 million in another 2 to 3 years. So it's a huge, huge market. Almost like 1 in 2 Indians will be a gamer in next 2 to 3 years, right? And the thing about gaming is that there is a certain age group that plays it the most, which is 10 to 25 years old. So for them, they have moved on from traditional ways of entertainment like a television, or even for that matter OTT and all, and whatever time they get, they play games or watch people play games, which is they stream games or watch that content.
Hmm.
So the future is very exciting. I have seen this close hand for the last 2 years, and I think that's what everybody expert is saying, that a large part of entertainment industry will move to gaming. So people will
Okay.
spend more time playing games or watching game than doing anything else for their entertainment, which is the real shift that will come.
Okay, so now if you want to talk a little bit more about the financials, so do gaming have potential for degrees like IITs, IIM? Do gaming have potential to match the payouts and the financials that these high-end degrees are providing?
No, so gaming is so one of the biggest thing about gaming right now is that it's already a very big part of the creator economy in India. Okay, so when
Hmm.
I can say creator economy, a lot of gamers are now professional streamers, or they are basically content creators, right? Or they are a part of an esports team, which also creates a lot of content and watches esports play. So fact of the matter is that the amount of money somebody can make in gaming right now is actually at par with what they can make if they pass out of a IIT or do whatever. A good
Wow.
gamer, so a 17-18-year-old good gamer can earn anything between 10 to 15 lakhs a month, going up to almost 50 lakh rupees a month. That's the
Okay.
potential, and we have seen so many people growing in front of us in our industry. So it's a huge industry. It will be, I mean, if you look at globally, the big gaming stars earn almost $3 to $4 million a year, which is like a very very good money. So yeah, there are no courses or anything for gaming as still, but I think in next 4 to 5 years you'll see a lot of courses also coming in for gaming.
So there is next, if you talk about the upcoming 5 to 6 years, so there is something very interesting happening around is Metaverse and Web 3.0. So do you consider like Web 3.0 will going to bring again a new wave, a new ray of hope in the gaming industry? Still, it's going to be a big opportunity. So what is happening in Western market in Web 3.0 and what is currently not happening in India?
So, yeah, it's a very interesting question. So, already the world is moving to Web3 gaming and is adapting it. Okay, lots has happened. Games like Axie Infinity and Sandbox grew very fast in 2021. Their revenues grew by, I don't know, 100x or 1000x in that time period. Traditionally, Web 2 gaming and Web 3 gaming are very different from each other. Okay. One of the key differences is that Web 3 gaming allows you to retain your assets and use it in different games. Okay. So
Yeah.
one of the challenges with Web 2 game was that, say I'm playing a game like Fortnite, I buy a certain currency over there to improve my avatar and do multiple things,
Mhm.
but I cannot take that currency, or I cannot take my spends from there to another game. I can't take it to a PUBG, I can't take it to a GT or something, because the thing is limited to that one. Okay, so essentially Web 2 gaming was very centralized. It was centralized to a publisher, it was centralized to a certain server or a certain game. Web3 gaming is basically decentralized. So, what it means is that one of the biggest advantages of Web3 gaming is that once you have an asset that you earn or buy in a game, in a Web3 game, you can take it to different games, and therefore your applicability or interoperability of assets become very very easy. So that's one. The second game, so second model in Web3, which is very different from Web2, is that in Web3 there is something called play to earn model. Okay,
Yeah.
so people can play more and more such games and earn more and more money. They earn in tokens or cryptos as we call it, or multiple other ways. But the more you play the game, the more you can make money. These two are basically the fundamental differences between Web2 and Web3 gaming. And the reason Web3 gaming is the future is because they are solving some very important problems which were not being addressed in Web2. So that's one. Secondly, from a global perspective, the adaptability has been quite nice. In India, we are still early in the way Web3 gaming is coming in. Router, for example, we have partnerships with two Web3 games, and we are working on them to build it
Mm.
up. But it will take about 2 to 3 years. But Web3 game will become very very big as far as the gaming industry is concerned. And
So
even
you
from a
tell.
metaverse, sorry, just to add another point, even from a
Yeah.
metaverse perspective, metaverse will basically, again, a very important use case in metaverse is gaming, right? So already, if you look at for example few Web2 experiences where there was a music concert that happened in Fortnite, right? So people
Mm.
were able
Mm.
to enjoy a concert while they were playing Fortnite or while they were inside that game. So there have been few instances of metaverse experience already happening in gaming. But traditionally, gaming will be a very important part of metaverse. Technically speaking, people would love to meet new people in metaverse to talk to them or play games with them and socialize with them. So gaming will play a very important role as social networks move to metaverse. Is really the way I'll put it.
So you touched the point that metaverse is solving one of the biggest problem through gaming. If you can highlight few problems that currently was not solved and which Web 3.0 will going to solve.
So yeah, so from a web, as I said, there are two problems. One problem was that interoperability of assets was not happening in Web two. So
Mm.
if you earn an asset in Web two or buy an asset in Web two, you can only use it in that game and not other games. But that metaverse, for that for example, Web three is solving. Second is your play to earn model. That in Web two, if you were playing more and more game, it was not a source of income for you, but in Web3 gaming, it is becoming a source of income for you. These are the two fundamental problems that Web3 gaming is solving for the world.
Okay. So now if I talk about my journey, like I personally want to start and it was I guess back in 2014, 15 once again. So it was not established, the gaming industry was not established at that time. So now if you want to talk about, if you want to highlight any teenager or 14-year-old right now being in 2022, so if they want to start their gaming career, they want to start something by their own into this particular gaming industry, so how they can eventually going to start, like what's the roadmap? Still there's no determined roadmap, but still if you can highlight some few pointers, 2 to 3, which will serve some of the motive to them.
So there are, see, in gaming, there are two very distinctive careers which are available right now. Okay, the first career is something called an esports athlete, or you join esports. So you play a game very well, you start to play games for competition, you start to appear in esports tournaments, and eventually you become a part of a team, so one of the esports teams, and you pick up a game and play that, and you are eventually an esports athlete, which is as good as a sports athlete, right? So
Yeah.
you're participating in tournaments day in and day out, you are practicing it, you are living together as a team, and you can play multiple tournaments at amateur and professional levels and go on to make money when you earn the prize money, or
Okay.
you can earn money by sponsors for those particular tournaments. Okay, so esports is one career. The second career is creator economy. If you're good at gaming and if you know how to entertain your audience, you can become a creator in gaming. In creator in gaming means you can do, the most obvious one is you can become a streamer. So you basically become a game streamer who's playing games and coming live on router and talking to your audience and making money through it, or you start to make videos in gaming, or you start to make reels in gaming. So the entire creator ecosystem is very very strong as a career in gaming. So these are two strong careers in gaming which are thriving right now globally as well as in India. And anybody who loves gaming and who's into gaming can make a career out of these two choices.
So in India, there's something called parenting comes into the picture. So a lot of parents, because India is a country where a lot of young teenage still don't move out from their place to earn money
Yeah.
in their 14, 30, 13-year olds, right? So that was not happening in western parts of the world again. So if you talk about country like India, so these are the biggest challenge of parenting. So what would be your one message to those parents whose kids really want to start their career into this, but again the society is not pushing them to do that?
Well, I personally feel that the overall awareness of parents to make gaming a career for their kids is very high right now. I'll give you an example. We have a streamer whose name is Vivon. He's a 7-year-old kid, 7-year-old. Okay,
Oh
very
my god.
popular on YouTube, very popular on Router. His parents are supporting his career like I have never seen before. He has a gaming room, he has a gaming tutor who comes and teaches him different games. He streams on Router, he's playing tournament. He's in fact part of Godlike, which is India's biggest esports team. And his parents say that if everybody will become doctor and engineer, who will become a gamer in the future? He, if the
Yeah.
way he's going to be a superstar when he grows up in another, you can say, 7 to 8 years. Okay,
Wow.
so like him, I've seen many parents who are now wanting their kids to take up gaming as a career, or they are supporting their kids who are already into gaming. I get a lot of call from parents saying that, can we, can you take our son on Router and make him become a streamer and so on and so forth. So I think this is a great time, and as more and more industry matures, you'll see people will have more and more adaptability to gaming as a career.
All right, now let's talk about the problem currently there in our ecosystem. If we talk about gaming as an industry, what are the problem India is going through?
Hmm. So from our perspective, I think broadly, India is very well placed to become a very very big gaming market. We are already a pretty large gaming market. But one of the things that is not happening in India is that Indians are not playing games which are made in India. Okay. So the games
Okay.
which people are hooked on to in gaming are largely global games, games which are run by international publishers. Okay.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we have, besides Ludo, which comes from Gamation, and few more studios who are making some effort, like Real Cricket, which is Nautilus, and few such games. People
Hmm.
are not playing Indian games, and that is because Indian games have not started to come out and get large numbers. But I know that there are many studios who are now building games which will come out in next 2 to 3 to 5 years, and we will see that in India a lot of Indian games are being played. So that is challenge number one. Challenge number two is that in India, now that people are playing so many games, they were not able to build communities or monetize their talent on platforms like YouTube, which only pays to the top stars or which only pays to a certain handful people. But in thousands and sometimes in a million, gamers who are creating content on these international platforms who are not able to make career out of it, which is where platforms like
Okay.
Router comes in. That we are an Indian platform that has made the best content creation tool and is getting the maximum audience, and we can help them make a career here. So these are the two challenges which I think having India's own gaming content platform or game streaming platform, and the fact that playing India games made in India are the two challenges which are getting solved in the next 3 to 4 years.
So if I want to start my career in gaming, and how Router is going to help me out with that?
Yeah. So we have something called, so first and foremost, if you want to make a career in gaming, you have to be a gamer. Okay, that we cannot
Agree.
teach you. So you basically have to play games and be good at it, and have a good knack of that skill, etc., etc. Second is we have something called Router Community Program, under which we can hire you as a content creator. We will give you the
Okay.
best tools to stream content or build your content, and we'll give you a very good visibility, and we will also give you a deal where you can make money through us, plus We will also get you brand deals that you can directly use to make money.
Mm.
So using all this, you can start to gain followers on Router, and as you grow on Router, your career will only become better from here. So
Okay.
we basically play a role of, so this is on the streaming side. On the esports side, if you are an esports athlete or you are starting a new team of esports, we will be the one that can partner you to help you monetize your esports team content, get more and more content made, play more and more tournaments. So we can work with you over there as well. So yeah, largely this is how it is.
Now, in country like India, if we talk about gaming industry, a lot of people currently have this option called streaming. Let's say
Yeah,
stream, I'll stream my either on your platform or any other platform that is widely available.
yeah.
But now, Router, you touch the point of brand deals. So, how brand deals actually work in this side as well, in gaming as well? So, how
So
actually do they have laptops, PC, or any other sort of marketing happen?
no, so brand deals are very simple. A lot of brands approach us at Router. They want our streamers to carry their brand and to basically, advertise their brand. So what we do is, once a brand comes to us, we take that brand to our streamers. They carry that brand in their streams. So there'll be a logo, there'll be a mention, there'll be a link, and all of it. And that is how they make money. So this is how we actually go ahead and do it.
Okay, so if you talk about gaming and Web 3.0, do you consider this thing that I've seen this one video of Zuckerberg talking about every working place will going to happen in metaverse and everything? So do you consider if all the even not for the young people age, even for the people who are working in around 40s, 50-year old in the top level management, right? There's one big bottleneck is work from home. People get used to it, but still a largely a huge number of people is still struggling with this
Hmm.
culture of working in corporates. So do you consider Web 3.0 will enter into the corporates, and how this going to increase the productivity, the output in the company?
No, so gaming is something which is a great way for people to have employee engagement. We also conduct a lot of esports tournaments within our own organization. We encourage people to play games because games is something that helps them improve hand-eye coordination, that keeps them motivated. There's a proper adrenaline running once you play a certain game. So yeah, so I think gaming from that perspective will certainly get a lot of corporate, attention, and people will, and the HR teams and the heads of the organization will use gaming to make a better culture for their employees for sure.
Okay, so it will not going to happen that we're going to have Zoom calls in Web 3.0. Will it going to happen something like this?
I'm not sure if Zoom calls will happen in Web 3.0, but for sure,
Yeah.
uh, as Anderson Horace says in most of their statements, that people in the future will meet more playing games or watching games than doing anything else in the world.
Okay, seems
So
like that Black Mirror episode.
yeah, absolutely. So the way we met so many strangers on social media in the last 10 to 15 years is exactly how gaming will help people meet new people.
Fine. Now, if we talk about if we talk about the scenario of gaming in India, there's something called happening around is the app banning and everything. A lot of gaming apps are getting banned every single day. Again, I guess there's the other day there was a news talking about PUBG still got banned, right? So India is a consumer at a large scale, since you also touched the point that we are not producing any more games, right? So why you consider that like we are consuming that level of foreign companies the products at large scale but not producing games in India? Do you consider the
Hmm.
infrastructure is lacking?
No, infrastructure is not lacking. I think we at India have played a very important role in developing global games. But in India,
Hmm.
conceptually, not many games have been developed because people have maybe they didn't have skills, or there was not the right market for it to grow. First, the market had to start growing for it to become possible. So, so one of the things that we have that I believe will definitely happen is that as more and more. So from a government perspective, see, it's very simple. two three games have got banned so far, and the games have got banned because government had an issue with data leakage to our
Yeah.
neighboring country, right? uh, I personally don't think government is against gaming. I think they are very much pro gaming. They are supporting esports. There are different committees becoming for esports. The Ministry of Sports is trying to work with all of us to make esports more professional in India. It's just that there are few games where if there is a chance of a data leak, or if there is an instance of a data leak, then government is going after them. But broadly, from the esports and gaming perspective, government is very very supportive of our industry.
Okay. Fine. So at last, the one thing if you want to highlight, if you talk about the economy side, so gaming will going to start contributing to GDP, and I guess it started already started. After having a
Mhm.
conversation with you, I also feel like there's a huge amount of contribution which is happening around in our
That's right.
economy with
That's
the
right.
help of gaming industry. So do you consider that if we talk about economy, how much largely percentage gaming can actually going to have impact around it, right? If yes, then there might be some education institutes happening around, right? So if you can highlight some names and the
No,
contribution.
gaming currently is at $2.3 billion. So Indian gaming industry is at $2.3 billion right now, which is slated to gross to go to $7 billion in next 2 to 3 years. So it's
Hmm.
still not a very very substantial industry in terms of the overall size. But one thing that will happen in gaming is the creator economy in gaming will become very very big, which means
Okay.
the way TikTok came in and completely changed the way creators were making content. It promoted 60 to 90 minutes, 90 seconds content, is exactly how gaming is doing it in streaming right now, or reels or videos right now. So I think that will be a very very large impact on the society as more and more creator ecosystem comes in, and that will generate many more employments, will get a lot of people jobs, whether they are working with esports or gaming studios or platforms like Router, or they are a part of a team or a streamer. There are multiple ways in which this industry will grow very very fast.
All right, thank you so much. I think that's it from my end, and I hope the audience is going to get tons of value out of it without like in just 26 minutes we covered multiple pointers, and it was really great conversating with you, Piyush. Thanks a lot for being on
But
Modernizing Biz Podcast.
thanks so much. I really enjoyed the conversation. You had a very very unique set of questions, and I really like the fact that you spoke about how people can make a career around gaming and how it can become a very large industry. So thank you so much for doing that.